2 of these units are best in class right now. We're going to talk about the rest of the meta and what's going on. Let's just jump right in though. So Light Season, Nerthuz is not best in class. This unit, I am just continually disappointed. Now, in SD, I think this unit can do a lot of fun things. The Miracle build on her is really fun. If we're talking about Light Season, though, the unit doesn't have enough firepower, and I'm a little disappointed in the design in general because I think, for the most part, they've been giving us fairly well-designed units. Light Season, they've just been neglecting a lot. Just looking at how this replay is going, for one thing, this is not a replay that they win, but Nerthuz does come in and really helps clean up a map that would have been an utter loss. And as we all know, sometimes you just need a win. But yeah, so we come in here, we see Dimitri almost get smacked. I'm waiting here. Oh, never mind, he does get smacked. Ouch. We're really waiting here for the Nerthuz versus Edelgard matchup. And the thing about this is a matchup that this unit absolutely had to win to be good. We talked about it, and we keep seeing over and over again that she just doesn't get there. Like, not even close. Second hit coming in, yeah, Edelgard isn't even halfway down. Now, the gravity effect is really nice, but just overall, this is not a unit you want to invest in unless it's your favorite, and then by all means, go forth. But we want to look at Saviors next. I know they've been falling for a long time in Light Season. That's not a surprise here. We continue to get counter-disrupt skills, and it keeps on dropping them even further. There's only one unit that can deal with that, and that is Ascendant Fjorm. I would be curious to see if we get another null counter-disrupt armor soon, or some kind of armor effect that allows them to counter that. But for now, there is just a ton of things that absolutely stomps on your Saviors in specifically Light Season. There's just so many things that can go wrong. Okay, we're gonna go over Lucia. I know you guys know this unit is good, but so many people are neglecting this unit. This is an easy button, and there are some times when you just need an easy button. This Light Season, I use this unit so much, particularly when she's paired up with Robin. Crazy things happen, and she just survives everything. It is nuts. So, if you're building a defense, especially in Light Season, make sure you have some kind of counter to this unit. The folks who do use her are normally very good with her. So, just keep on the lookout for that. Right now, Lucia is this year's Brave Hector. Hands down, just an amazing unit. The last thing I want to talk about is your player phase teams, and just don't neglect these. Understand that there are so many of you have been focusing on Omni tanks and the new Saviors, and that's fantastic. But you run into teams like this where this would be difficult to tank. And instead, we have a very easy player phase clear where they don't even have a Duo's Hindrance building. That's nuts, and it's something you want in your arsenal. Keep on practicing with those, stay fresh with those, because there are some maps that you just can't clear without them. Now, we have more to talk about in Astra Season simply because we just had more Astra maps. But the first thing I want to talk about is Maria on offense. Now, understand, on defense, I think she's absolutely amazing, and in cases, she's amazing on offense. The problem is folks are seeing that one time when she was amazing, and they are just making sure that she always stays on their team. You can see through this. I mean, this unit gets absolutely pounded and doesn't make it. Now, would this team have lost even harder without Maria? Sure, but I think the big point is here, this was the wrong team for this map. We'll show a good team versus this map in just a second. But just know that I think there are better supports that you could use. Anyway, let's move on to one of my favorites right now, and Hinoka is ridiculous. The other thing that I don't often get to show is how many stupid things I do. We'll show you in a second. This clear was utter stupidity. But I want you to look at, this is a +10 Bridal Tiki, and Hinoka handles her easily. This is without proccing Deadeye. Like, that's a lot of overkill there. The thought was that this unit really needed Deadeye in order to do something. And that's just not the case because of the armor effectiveness and because of the counter disrupt. This skill is insane. You're going to be seeing a lot of her. I think she's amazing as a hit and run unit. I think we are also going to see her on 8th Raid's defense. And there it is right there. Yeah, I broke that building, and now Fomortis can come over and hop over and kill Peony. And I just... it was such a good clear. I was so proud of it. It's like, why not just break that building? It'll be fine. Anyway, this was a really unique clear, and understand they actually ended up losing this, and the main reason was they waited too long. They got a little gun shy here, but Mystic Boost on this Merida, this is a plus 10 Merida, but still, this is kind of incredible in the current meta. This is exactly what you want right now. So, with all of the healers, with all of that going on, Mystic Boost is definitely rising up the ranks, especially when we have so many Omni tanks that have so many extra effects that they can either get from their team or they have in their PRF. It leaves you some wiggle room to do fun things with these units. So take a look at that. I won't show you this whole clear. The only thing they do wrong is they wait till the very last turn to try and take out Fomortis, and Merida can't do it in one turn. I was actually sad for them. It's hard to see clears that are really well executed that just have that one little thing that they miss. So on to another unit that I'm just nuts over, and this is Harmonic Tiki 2. I love this unit. So I'm showing this unit here in offense because I think she's great here, but I think she is great in any capacity on any team. AR offense, AR defense, arena, summoner duels. She is amazing. And I think she is a significant bump over other saviors. I would particularly look at her for 8th Raid's defense. I know Naga exists, but there just aren't very many people who use her. And the combination of Armored Flow with all of that damage reduction makes her formidable. The other thing that I was really surprised about with this is the fact that Thracia, honestly, she just kind of shrugs Thracia off. It's really incredible. This unit doesn't care so much about effective damage until it's brave effective. In other words, I'm looking at you, DTM, with your Bolt Tower and Ninjoran, and yeah, that's throw in Naga there, and this unit just does not make it. Speaking of the Bolt Tower, though, this unit does have low HP. What you're seeing right here is bonus season, so that is boosted up quite a bit. I did play with this unit outside of bonus season, though. I think this unit is going to be excellent for a long time. I've also done a ton of sims. Absolutely fantastic. Grab a one-off. You only need a +0. I'm not kidding. I actually wouldn't go any further than that. Next up, we have, and I've got Dazzling Staff here. What I'm really looking at is, in general, counter-disrupt skills all over the place. We have seen them already in a couple different replays. It's really driven home when you see units that should have survived, retaliated, and killed, but because of counter-disrupt things happening, like in Veronica, or in Hinoka, or in Maria, or Elise, the match turns the other way. This is another example of Altina, who is an amazing tank, but because of the counter-disrupt skills, yeah, just not making it. You should really look at a unit that has no counter-disrupt or get more into player phase strats. Like either one of those, you're going to do just fine. We have less to talk about in Chaos Season simply because there's one going on right now. It hit just right so that I don't have a full Chaos Season to talk about. But one of the units that really stood out for me was this Byleth. And in general, Vantage strats work so much better in Chaos Season. Simply, there's less bulk. I mean, that is flat out. It is easier for units like Byleth to kill in one hit. And she absolutely shines in Chaos Season. I'm not saying she's a bad unit otherwise. I think she's a good unit, but she is elite in Chaos Season. It is nuts. I have tried her versus all sorts of things. The funny thing is, I talk about Maria and how her value is going down on offense. The one exception there is Vantage in general. I think she really does well paired with a Vantage unit, and you're seeing that here. The next thing I want to talk about is Elamine, and this is interesting because I am way far down on Elamine compared to almost every other FEHtuber. I think her time is not so much coming to an end, but I think there are better options right now if you have the right team. But Chaos Season is definitely the exception because folks just don't plan for her. It is insane. It's like they have forgotten this unit exists. And that means clears like this become super easy. I just shut Embla off. Understand that Byleth does not outspeed some of these other units if she doesn't have, or the feud skill rather. The last thing I want to talk about is RNG. I know I've got it going down here, and that's kind of a weird thing to put. Just understand that defensive wins on Chaos especially are all about RNG. You can have an amazing team and you just hit just the right units, and sometimes you hit them multiple times in a row. So don't get discouraged. I always try to be improving your defense. I'm a big defense geek, but understand that sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's talk about Arena and my poor boy, Seliph. Oh my God. This was Seliph's bonus season and he couldn't kill anything. Summoners, no follow-up, full no follow-up is so prevalent in Arena right now that he is worthless. I don't know what refine they are going to give him. Honest to God, it is difficult. The only way you got a kill with Seliph is if you buffed him a whole bunch, which we'll show in a second, or you got him against another Seliph. Like you just prayed that your other team would have some sort of other Seliph so you wouldn't have to deal with this. I don't even know what to say, Summoners. His refine better be bonkers. That's all I've got. Let's move on though and look at a replay where Seliph actually does something. And keep in mind, this is with cooldown from Crom and grand strategy from Robin and Summoners. Robin is so good. I really and truly think Robin is the best unit in the game right now. There are so many different modes that he's amazing in. What else do you say? I mean, the unit is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. If a unit can make legendary Seliph good, like that's the bar, right? If you can cross that bar, then you are just amazing. All right, time to look at Alm. I had this clear when I was building the Alm video. What I really wanted to say is, if you have, so we saw Seliph, so we've seen an older enemy phase unit. If you have an older player phase unit, however, I think you are doing just fine. They seem very committed to having player phase units get new skills that boost them up. And units like Alm, who honestly have a lot of unique things, but because their infantry can inherit some bonker stuff that really drives their value up, it's fantastic. So if you've got Alm, you're happy. If you've got Alm from the Hall of Forms, you're really happy because of all those extra skills, and you don't have to run this one, which is still at Darting Blow 4, which Oblivion makes fun of me for constantly. Last unit up here is Hinoka. I was so excited about Hinoka. I pulled Hinoka. I'm like, this season is going to be ridiculously easy. And then I realized I was going to have to go up against other Hinokas. I don't know what to say. It was painful at times, but seeing Hinoka's nuking power is nothing short of phenomenal. This is a +1, and I just didn't find a unit that this unit couldn't take down. She is absolutely insane, and the counter disrupt portion of her skill means she's going to be good for a very long time. The support, the charge from her kit is amazing. The special acceleration, I can't say enough good things about this unit. She is worth getting a one-off of. And again, this is a unit you just need one of. You really do. She's that good. Last but not least, we have Summoner Duels, and this was the week where everyone phoned it in. Not everyone. Obviously, I saw some of you work very hard on your teams and come up with some crazy creative things. But there were so many folks who, I mean, it was a holiday weekend and folks just threw stuff out there. But there were still some big surprises, and the first is that. AoEs, and this was the season where I realized how far they had fallen. And it's not just Harmonic Tiki 2. It is things like Close Call that have started to become very prevalent and are common enough that we're seeing them on a lot of different units and God Swords. So many God Swords. But anyway, Summoners. I still think it's good to have an AoE unit in your team just to kind of have the back and forth. But for a while there, you could build up that Brave Seliph team with an AoE, and you could go in there with that and just destroy things and didn't really have to worry about him tinging. Now you do. Things move so fast in Summoner Duels. And speaking of, let's go back to that Bridal Tiki. Now, I want you to be very careful about your takeaways here. I think that Bridal Tiki is amazing. I think she is a big upgrade in Aether Raids. And obviously, if you want to use her in Arena, I think she's amazing there too. But the purpose of Saviors in Summoner Duels is just a buffer unit. It is to make sure that the other team doesn't get a choice of who they take out. That's the amazing thing about them. If they survive more than one hit, like that one just did, then incredible. That is fantastic, and that is almost more than you can ask for. But it's not always the case. You're about to see this plus 10 mark with Sabotage and Iceberg and every other kind of support. One round Tiki. And yes, this is a +0 Tiki, but still, that's kind of incredible. Now, that speaks to how good Mark is, but it also says that no matter how good your Savior is, there's going to be a team that's able to beat them, especially with Katria. So, we're going to pass this up now because I do lose to this amazing Lin theme team that just... they were impressive. I really enjoyed playing against them. Hats off to you. And we're going to go over to another bonkers unit. And Oblivion let me borrow coverage of his +10 Altina. If you are a Summoner Duels nut like Oblivion, +10ing Altina is not a bad strategy. And there are very few units that you can say that about, especially very few carries that you can say that about in Summoner Duels. She just does so many things well. She is right now hard carrying folks to rank 1. No kidding. I cannot tell you the number of players I talk to. They're like, yeah, I just use Altina every single time. She is, the strategy's easy. The team is easy to set up. You don't have to worry too much about the opener. Summoners, this is a phenomenal unit. The last thing in Summoner Duels I want to talk about, though, is Dancers. I never, ever thought I'd be over here saying that Dancers had become good again. And now, keep in mind, I'm not saying they're great. Let's be very clear about that. But still, they were a very viable strategy this last time. This is a team construction from Adara, or rather a delivery system from Adara, and then some of the players are different. But understand that this is this is really kind of insane that you have a map that is spread out enough that Dancers are okay. Because it's really the thing. The thing that refreshers get over Dancers is you don't waste that action. Your action economy is better because you can get a unit like Crom. They can repo someone like a guidance unit, and that very next turn, Chrom is ready to warp across the map and absolutely demolish things. That is really important in some maps. In maps that are spread out enough like this, where it's not so much spread out, it's that it was so hard to get to the other player, suddenly dancers become decent again. They become very usable, they become a viable strategy. I just never thought I'd see that. It's a team I had a lot of fun with, and yeah, I know a lot of folks got to use dancers and they were very happy about it. So, last thing I want to talk about is units from this last month that you can invest in. And the first up is kind of a weird thing for me to put up here as an investment. I want to think more about orbs in this category though, and this is Bridal Tiki, or rather Harmonic Tiki 2, however you want to say it. The thing about the investment portion of this is she's good out of the box. So it's a very good value. A lot of saviors right now, you have to add on so many things. You have to go out and get the beacon, and you have to go out and get the scowl skill, and all of these other new things that are amazing, but they're really expensive. Tiki is amazing out of the box. Very, very cost-effective unit. The next up is Maria, and I know I was down on Maria on offense, but understand that I still think this is a premier unit in this game, and the support she offers will not get old for a very long time. Whatever you want to throw on her, honestly, it's good. This is Inventory Null Follow-Up, which again I copied from Adara because Adara's amazing. I haven't gotten this fodder yet, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, I want that on my Maria. Anyway, but Return Plus is another thing that you can get off codes, and really just that enhances her play so much. But there's a lot of things. I saw someone give her a Magic Null Follow-Up 4, which is kind of a fun thing. I like Poetic Justice better, but you can play with this unit and you can get different things out of her. Another really random thing you can give her is one of the Duel 4 skills, the Colorless Infantry Duel, and that boosts up her HP and gives her extra stats. The goal there being that you can use this unit as an IP bot to pulse down your other units and help with Gale Force strategies, or getting your lethality procced, or however you want to do it. Summoners. Sky's the limit. This unit is incredible. Last up here is Hinoka, and understand that Hinoka, if you want to leave just base kit on there, she's really incredible. But there are a lot of options. Remote Sparrow is one of them that actually gives her some survivability for that occasional time where she doesn't double. I mean, in the meta right now, if she doesn't double, generally the unit isn't going to double back because she still has plenty of speed. But Seal Speed 4, to ensure you get the extra speed and to inflict guard, is really phenomenal on her. Other than that, I mean, you're probably going to leave Rallying Cry on there because it's amazing. I don't see Deadeye being changed out either, just because it goes so well with her kit, but you get the point here. You don't have to do much with this unit, and she absolutely demolishes things. These are 3 units that I think you can invest in with confidence right now. Real quick, I want to thank the members because they are incredible and help me do so many things, and you guys are amazing for all of your support. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.